quick and we are direct. Archers, fire! Archers, legs! Over the top. Send it. Because we cannot mend it or defend it. Put a hashtag on that shit. Trend it. Fire! Good afternoon. We are here. Oops. Hello. $6,000 videos, 2.5 million people in 2 years. Good afternoon. Don't hide your face, don't fear. Face your fears. It's okay, give attention. Anyway, I'm here to annoy us for another half an hour. I've just got back, had a trim. So did my son. It's a postcode. I just had a lovely sun wash. Went and got me hair cut. You know, it felt fresh. Ooh-wee. And it smelled nice. Anyway, how's everybody doing on this Wednesday afternoon? Fuck it. Kaboom. Sure, Frank. Big man thing. Big up Frank. Shout out to Lee Marvin Hitchman, born in prison. Don't turn a blind eye. And listen. Shout out to my man. Whatever it takes, right? You know, music has a way of, how can I say it? It takes you to a certain dimension in your head, like a portal. Rewind. You know, my father tried to convince me music was a person, like music was my friend, right? And you know what, I thought he was crazy. And in the end, it's me that's certified. Shout out to my father for all the valuable lessons you learn me in life. Anyway, we're here. 6,000 videos, 2.5 years, 2.5 million people. Me little channel. Okay, how about that? Can you hear me now? So my little shit channel is hit 6,000 videos and we're nearly on 4,100 subs. You know, if you go back and look at my other channel, Fighting Back United, look how big my head was. Do you understand? I was very sick. So the doctor said, and anyway, it's like, but I'm a survivor of suicide and there's loads of survivors out there, do you understand? And I'm team survivor. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for everybody on the planet that has suicide ideology. Know this, 1 in 8 kids who survive a parent to suicide goes on to take their life. 1 in 8, according to the Mental Health World Organization. When it comes to mental health, you could call it a federation, you could call it a brotherhood, or you could just call it the motivation. Every time I hear, every day at my station, you know what I mean, and shout out to every nation. You know, if need be, drop your demonstration. Life could be so much worse. In fact, where I'm sitting from, what a transformation. Even though I'm sick.
Between the silence, we
Yeah.
begin.
This gives up before this and all that. somebody said I have a shit little channel, okay? I have, yeah. But I built this channel on me fucking own. Do you understand? No, I've had a few people help me. Like, I give credit where credit's due. To Pablo, to Chopper, and even we had a good team, and then it's like we didn't. But like I said, I'm not far from the target I set myself, which is 5,000 subs. I've already smashed my videos out of the water. 6,000 videos. On Air Circle on YouTube, you have about 50 or 60 channels, okay? It's like, and none of them has made more content than me. You know, and I did all that for free, just to prove to you. Do you understand? This has never been about the money. This has been about reaching out to a few old pals back home, and, you know, like, if you followed my journey on YouTube in the last 7 years, you'll see that I've been part of a couple of big channels. You can see that I had a couple of shit channels. It's like, and I'm a big fan of progression. Do you understand? So, my shit little channel, I went from trusting some four-eyed fuck who ended up putting a URL on my channel, and I had to start all over again. This channel I started the 5th of February 2023. We're in 2025. I've hit over 2.5 million people. It's like, and that's not me just making a mad number up. Like, I'm one little channel, yeah, which has ended up helping a few other channels. See, all it takes is for you to put a person's channel in your description. I'll give them a little shout out, you know. Like, see, Pablo and Finn are my brothers on here on Chopper, and there's a few other lads, you know. But see, Pablo and Finn, even though I should speak a bit more to Finn, I have a few things going on. It's like, but like I said, Finn's channel, once they get over 1,000, they'll be alright. It's like, you know, it's very hard to grow a channel. Why, Ron, do I look handsome? Do I look handsome? Hey, do I look like Elton John? No. Nah, listen, there's something inside us all where we have this thing where, listen, not today. We're not quitting today. You know, you get one life, live it.
When daylight fades behind the veil, and stars ignite the sleeping trail.
So, I've made it. I've made a deal with God, and I said, God, it's me again. I know you're sick listening to me praying, but just give me a bit more time with me, lad, and I'll fucking make sure that one day he'll have a career. And but what he's gonna have to do is he's gonna have to fight 250 people as an amateur, a junior. Listen, I believe that my son could be the next Jaden Price. Listen to me, yeah? Hard work pays off, right? It's in him. I can see me son, do you understand? It's like I can just, hang on guys, I can just see him. It's like doing it. It's like in the ring. It's like, you know, it's like I'll be his coach. And it's like I said, my son will go to the Olympics because he has uncles who fight, who can fight, and he has a lot of family around him. So God forbid if that was ever to happen to me, it's already been spoke about. Do you understand? I've already covered every base. It's like, and I've made 6,000 videos. So my kids, if they ever want to remember me, like, and they're upset, I want them to watch one of my lives where I've had a laugh in it or what have you. Do you understand? Even when I'm dead, see me channel, I'm handing it to me son. Listen, I ain't going nowhere yet, but you still have to always have a plan B. You know, because every one of us here, everyone's gonna die. Just not today, baby. Fuck. Easy. Now, when you're a coach, and it's like how you used to be, and you can coach kids, education first, and then learn how to defend yourself. It's just like you get. I've always been good at certain things because me daddy raised me that way. You know, always have that edge, you know what I mean? See what I mean? Like for instance, yeah, I'm having a row with you and going to tell you how handsome you look, big boy. What you say? You fucking heard what I said. You know, and that's where civilians make mistakes, regulated guys, you know. Psychotic people, like, you know, it's not a good idea to run off somebody because you're easy to pick off. I look good at my, holy shit. But, nah, Andrew, I went down and got my hair cut. My lad got his hair cut, right? And I'm not joking you, bro. He fucking kicked right off, you know, in the chat. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, Lisa had him, you know. But he looks tap on me, son, you know. It's like, so I made a deal with God. I'll tell you about it this evening, right? So yeah, basically, I don't believe in luck. I believe in God. I don't believe in luck. I am very superstitious as well. But you make your own luck in life. That's what my father taught me. You know, you work for what you have and you don't drink your whiskey unless it's earned. How about that? I don't fucking drink. Never mind drink me whiskey. And here, when it comes to YouTube, I think I've earned mine. Hello, Finn. Shout out to Finn, and if you're not sub to his channel, guys, can you go do it? Finn, sorry. I went to the barbers before myself, released the midget and that, yeah? Kids are off school and all that, right? So I come up, what have you, and so myself and Tom sitting in the barbers, he's sitting on Lisa's lap. He's fucking going crazy, right? It's like, you know, so it's like, my man, as soon as he hears this, yeah, right, so I'm getting me fucking haircut next of all. I just hear this, yeah, so I'm like, hang on. I look across at Tom. I look across at my son, and he's having a meltdown. I'm next to him. Finn, do you like me off? You get the point. Tom didn't like it. He got the point, all right, and his head looks on point, in fact. You know, why wouldn't it be? You know what I mean? It's like... But, so Finn, I had a conversation with God a few weeks ago, right? And I asked him for a bit more time. So I'm not one for going to appointments, right? So I went for two chest x-rays on the last Monday, bro. It's like, and I just have to wait now for the results, you know. So yeah, I have a few things to do. Here, guys, can I just say this real quick? A friend of mine ran the Dublin City Marathon the other day, Kenna O'Driscoll, right? And somewhere near Sarsfield Road, they had a gazebo, yes, stolen. So if anybody knows where this gazebo is, or I've seen anybody with it, like, they don't know whether the guards or the council took it, but during the Dublin City Marathon, one of my friends, a lot of people were there to support them, and they had like a gazebo for all the runners. Finn, wait till you hear this, right? Kenneth O'Driscoll, 17 years ago, right? Harpo's brother, Dee Dee's brother, right? 17 years ago, he ran the Dublin City Marathon for the first time. Sunday, he brought 49 runners with him. Cherry Orchard Running Club is a force to be reckoned with. It's one of the best running clubs in Ireland. And he founded it 17 years ago. And if I had been living there, I'd have found there with him. And he's a great coach. He's a great mentor. He knows a lot about nutrition. You understand that. And it's like he's got a community involved in exercise, involved, like when you have serious runners, like this guy does Ironman, triathlons, he does fucking it all. You know, I looked at the clock this morning and I was like, it's like 10 to 8. And I'm thinking, this geezer's already after been in the sea this morning in Ireland having a swim. Now, the other day, during the marathon, the gazebo went missing. And if anybody is watching me from Ballyfermot, that gazebo belongs to Cherry Orchard Running Club. So as far as I know, Kenneth O'Driscoll store set it up for the marathon on Sunday. So there was loads of drinks there and all, because there was 50 athletes, 50 runners running in the marathon. So we needed our own gazebo, you know, where the runners can stop and get a drink and rehydrate, you understand, and fucking keep going, yeah? And that evening, they went to collect the gazebo and it's gone. So either the council have taken it, the guards have taken it, or somebody has taken it. And if anybody knows where the gazebo is, and you let me know in private, it's like you'll probably get a little reward for it as well, yeah? Not off me, off the owner. So if anybody knows or anybody has seen that banner being taken off Sarsfield Road by the police or the council, could you let me know, just so I can pass the information over to me pal, you know? It's like his daughter set up a fucking station, loads of drinks and everything for all the athletes and all, you know, and then in the evening when they went to get the gazebo, it was gone, you know. Like, so it belongs to Kenneth O'Driscoll and Cherry Orchard Running Club. So, again, I'd like to congratulate Kenneth O'Driscoll. 17 years ago, he ran the Dublin City Marathon for the first fucking time, yeah? Sunday gone, he brought 49 other runners that are members of Cherry Orchard Running Club. 50 of them all together out of that centre running the marathon the other day. Like, how amazing is that? Yeah, you don't put that in your fucking paper, do you, Paul Williams, you fucker? You know, shout out to fucking Kenneth O'Driscoll and Cherry Orchard Running Club, mate. But Finn, yeah, I just went down and got me wig done. I was like, I want to look a bit handsome for me missus. So, bro, it didn't matter what barbers I was going in. That's a fucking accomplishment, that, to make me look handsome. You know, I even give him a tip. Bless him. You know. Nah, listen, bro, it's like I get my hair done in a Muslim barber's, right? Geezer called Asif, right? Finn, much was it for me hair? Go on, say something that's been sold, I will talk. Now, listen, this geezer, like I said, they have a running club there, and yesterday, on Sunday, they took part in the marathon, and basically, it's like somebody, no, £8, he charges me, right? So I just give him a tenner, you know what I mean? It's like, and so, let's say I have a big hairy face, right? So, he's, like I said, before him, I used to go to a geezer that charging me 15, and I'd always give him the 20, you know what I mean? Because he does a good job. So, today I went, and my son as well. So, for myself and for Thomas Finn, have a guess much, bro? 15 quid, right? So, I give him 17, no problem, you know? because all the other ones, like, now get along with him, you know what I mean? It's like, so I could get free haircuts out of there if I wanted, bro, and just advertise his business, you know. So if you're under 7, that's me fucked. It's I think it's £7. So £7 for mine, or £7 for Tom's, and £8 for mine, bro. Like, not, cause normally I do have a shave and all, fin, so it's like 15 quid. So I always give him a fucking tip, bro, you know. And I'm glad we went when we did, cause bro, I sat waiting, yeah, and there was 2 barbers, yeah, so one of them become free, but I was like, bro, I want him to cut me hair. He said, bro, I cut your hair the last time. I said, did you? You better not fuck it up, bro. You know, so I'm sat there, like I said, you know, and it's like, you know, like, he puts that thing on, he puts this fucking thing, wraps it around my neck. You know what I mean? I just close my eyes, bro. You know what I mean? Fucking, but Tom was next to me and he was fucking kicking right off. You know what I mean? Cause the sound of the sound of that bastard there, right? He doesn't like it, okay? Now, only for I can't cut me own, I'd fucking do it. I can dye me hair, I can do whatever I need to, but I just can't cut it. And I wouldn't try cut anyone's hair, because the last time I done that, it ended up bad. You know, a psychopath nearly killed me because he lost his job. Shout out to Neil Douglas. I'm sorry I got you sacked, but you knew the rules. The 3 call, we had a democracy. Well, you hear this, right? I've told you that story, right? See me mates, the bastards, one night, you know what they did? They shaved me fucking eyebrows and let me go home and didn't tell me. You know, me dad's at the fucking door, mate. He's like, hang on a minute, whoa. He's looking at me and I'm like, he's on it. He's clocked me eyes. He's like, you want fucking drugs? I said, no, why? Where's your fucking eyebrows, mate? Oh, I'm not joking yet. 17, but they want 21 for play. Well, Ron, like I said, it's like it's Christmas in a few fucking weeks, bro. And it's like, you're better off just getting it out of the way. Like I said, he's probably the cheapest barbers I've ever gone to. Because my guy that I used to go to, he charged £15 for your hair and your beard. So it's like he charges £8 just for a haircut, and I think he charges you a £5 for a fucking, you know, faded your beard and what have you. And, you know, I always give them a tip. You know, because he fucking, like I said, like, the last place I used to go, I used to pay like fucking 20 quid, you know, and that's without taxi fare. You know, Sadgies, but I found another barber up here, and honestly, my man, he does a good job, and, you know, I'm grateful. But yeah, so I seen a video, and I just thought I'd mention it about Kenneth O'Driscoll's gazebo here. So basically, Cherry Orchard Running Club on Sunday took part in the Dublin City Marathon. And the beauty of this story is, my friend Kenneth O'Driscoll, 17 years ago, he ran the Dublin City Marathon for the first fucking time, yeah, on his own. And he said, one day I'm going to bring somebody with me, you know, to run this race with me. I'm going to get them conditioned. I'm going to teach them about their body, about what goes in and what comes out, and what shouldn't go in and what shouldn't go out. It's like when it comes to nutrition, and he's a great manager. Do you understand? Because he's a proper man. And he's like myself, in a way, like both of us. Heroin fucked up our life when we were younger. But some of us left and some of us stayed. You know, some of us chilled and some of us played, which led them astray. You know, to the point, locking all your doors, being afraid. And I fucking warned you, you didn't listen. You know what I mean? Now behave. But Whoever has that gazebo, return it, and you'll probably get a reward off the people that owned it. You know, because at the end of the day, it's like I'm really proud of this individual, because you imagine coaching another 49 people and getting them so fit and conditioned that you can take part in races like Dublin City Marathon, like Ironman and fucking CrossFit running, and like this geezer has turned Cherry Orchard like like they're a serious running club, you know. And like I said, I'm really proud of him. Like I was speaking to him the other day, and he's like, you know what, Jude? He said, look where the two of us are now, you know, compared to where we were. You know, there's not many of us left like me and you. Now, that's not my words, that's his words. You know, but the fact that you live in a rough housing estate and you get a lot of the people on the housing estate to getting fit and to getting healthy and to take part in runs around the park and blah blah fucking blah. And like I said the other day, 17 years later, he brought 49 people from Ballyfermot to the fucking marathon with him, who ran it with him. Do you understand? So if he has 50 people this year running the marathon, next year I guarantee he'll have 100 orange jerseys with him. And that orange jersey, I don't like the colour orange unless it's on me flag. But all their gear and their visuals is all this colour. Cherry Orchard Running Club orange. That's what it represents. You know, and the way I see it is, I grew up with a lot of lads that the media give an awful time. I have a lot of family and friends that the media still give an awful time. They call us bowsies, blackguards, they even call us drug dealing scumbags. But here, not all of us. You understand? 95% of people from Ballyfermot are law-abiding, working fucking people. You know, my mother was raised in Ballyfermot. You know, and for years the media and other parts of Dublin, because we're from Ballyer, were scumbags. Why? Why? Yeah, I'll tell you why. People see, when you start to bother people, obviously there's a reason, like, you know what I mean? You don't piss on the devil. Do you understand, in life? Where, see me, I pissed on him 3 or 4 times. I'm a God, I wouldn't be here. I tell you fucking that. Hey, I grew up with some of the toughest fucking lads, mate, in that city. You know, like, and the beauty of it is, a few of us managed to get away. Myself, Ian Gibbons, Neil Douglas. A few of us got away from it. You know, where years ago I knew what direction I wanted to go in, and it wasn't the right direction, you know. I went down the wrong road. I won't say I hung around with the wrong people, I didn't. You know, they're me fucking mates. What am I meant to do? You can't choose. You can choose your friends, right? But you can't choose your family, and I've got a massive fucking family, mate. You know, we're very proud people. It's like, there's a very famous saying, and it's like, you can take the boy out of Ballyer, but you can never take the Ballyer out of the boy. I was a bad person half a lifetime ago, and I made some really bad decisions. You know, but I'm not going to blame drugs, or I'm not going to blame other people. I knew right from wrong, you know, and it's like, I was so silly that I'd think, look, at least if I get nicked, I'll be with one of me mates. You know, and it's a stupid way of life. It's a stupid frame of mind. You see, the human condition, men were just fucking cunts. And sometimes we fuck shit up, and we will not admit things, and we tell lies. And what, like I said, listen, and I'll tell you, it's like it'll catch you in the end. Like, I've reached out to a couple of people and said, "Hey, bro, that shit's gonna kill you in the end." Like, you know, I say to some of them, "Bro, how did you get past it?" "Dude, I didn't stop." I'm like, "What? Still?" Like, but like I said, you know, this evening I'm gonna tell you a story about a few lads I grew up with, you know, who the media crucify and have crucified in the past. And fuck you, Paul Williams, and your newspaper. Why don't you write about Cherry Orchard Running Club? Hey, 50 of them took part in the marathon the weekend. Why don't you write about shit like that? Positive shit like that, where one man is changing the dynamics and the demographics of a whole fucking community. Do you understand? And he doesn't get the recognition he fucking deserves. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, it's like, you know, I'm a big fan of trying to over adversity, and it's like, it is what it is. It's like, you know, it was a pleasure growing up with some of the lads I grew up with. You know, some of them aren't here anymore, some of them are, and some of them we don't know where they are. Like, we've a couple of mates that were, you may as well say, buried in certain places and nobody's found them. You know, like, while I've been in England over 31 years, 20 of my mates are dead because of the life. Some of them have had drug overdoses, some of them have killed themselves purposely, some have been in crashes. You know, and some just knew that they'd never get away from it and they wanted a piece of cake. But they weren't just happy with one slice. They wanted another one, you see, and that's what happens when you like, when you want more cake, there's a problem. Because my man across the road is looking at you having your 2 portions, and he's like, "Hang on a minute, he's had 2 slices of cake, boss. Why? I want a bit of that." You know, but like I said, someone said something to me the other day, man. He's like, "Bro, not my words, his words." He's like, "Dude, me and you should never still be here because of the decisions we made." You see, I don't have a big brother. I was the big brother. I had mates that had big brothers. I always wanted the big brother. But I think that's just the way God wanted it. You know, it's like I made a few deals with God in my lifetime, and I've tried my best to stay on it and stick with God. Do you understand? Like, even though all the madness I got into, it's like when I was on my own in a cell and I was listening to people above me telling me what they were gonna fucking do with me the next day, and I was on the only thing I had in the fucking cell was a photograph and a Bible. And I said, "If you get me out of here, I'll change. You know, I'll try to be noble. I'll try to stay humble." It's like I'm while on my knees praying with this Bible and this photograph, I could hear a certain family, 3 certain families who had family members in there shouting down on the 2s and the 3s what they were going to do with me in the yard, in the shower. And I had this pressure on me for 5 months, and they got me 3 times. The first, well, they didn't really get me the first time because I fucking bashed the head in, but the second and the third time, they fucked me up. You know, I wasn't meant to get out of that jail, but for some reason, I got out. I'm not gonna lie, I've never been that afraid. Like, I could hear people above me saying, "See you fucking Ballier scumbag, you're dead in the morning. If we don't get you at breakfast, we'll get you at dinner. Hey, you better be careful when you get in that shower, you don't slip and break your neck." I'm not joking you, I was fucking spewing me guts up because I was in there on me fucking own. And I was like, I'm so fucked. How am I going to get out of this? Like, because I'm a certain way. I'm not going on no nonce word or nonce wing, no way. You can bash me fucking head in, mate. I'm not going. The governor said to me, see you've got a fucking death wish. I'm trying to keep you safe. Can I go back to my cell? He said, I don't think that's a good idea, bro. I said, why not? He said, because people want to bash your fucking head in. You know, now I know you're lying to me. I know some of my officers have put their hands on you. I can prove that he did. He said, but if you don't make a statement, I've got a statement for you. Go fuck yourself. Now, can I go back to my cell? You know, a stupid like that. And, you know, I'm not going to lie. I don't think I've ever been that afraid other than the time when my daughter nearly died during birth. It's like, I don't think I've ever been that afraid, like, you know what I mean? But they put the fear of God into me. Like, you just imagine being in a fucking cell, right? And you're only there a couple of days and you can hear these cunts shouting your name down. Saying, when you get in the yard tomorrow at breakfast, at dinner, bro, see you're fucking dead. And I'm like, I don't even know any of them. Like, you know, when you're walking onto a wing after coming from the bridewell and you have cunts banging at the door saying, see you, all this shit. I was like that. But you can't let people see that, you understand? It's like, but I was fucking terrified, man. I had Mitchells allegedly, Hutches allegedly. I had Foxes. You know, I had fucking head cases from Sheriff Street. They all wanted to fucking do me serious damage, and I was fucking terrified, mate. And I was like, I can't, do you understand? I have to leave my cell. I can't be a prisoner in a prison. I'm already a prisoner, but I can't be imprisoned in a fucking prison. So I knew what they were going to do, you know, and I'm not joking you, mate. I've never been that afraid. I had a picture exactly like that, and a certain hutch allegedly walked up to me, grabbed it, and ripped it to pieces and said, you won't be needing that where you're going. In fact, even if you get out of this prison, mate, you will not leave. We'll blind you. You won't be able to see your son. Now, that's a problem, because I made my son a promise the morning that I got taken out of the house when they found a gat and fucking 13 ounces of shit in me gaff. You know. And the situation I found myself in was I couldn't tell the police who fucking owned this, do you understand? I'd be dead. You know, and even if I fuck off, they'll get me family, you know. And that's how it is. Like, I was in a major fucked up situation where the police allegedly found a Glock on me roof that wasn't mine. Yeah, I don't know what you're on about. What about my man next door? You know, I was minding something allegedly, right? And the person that I was minding it for, I couldn't. Listen, I've never told on anybody in my life, only on myself. Because it's like I was dead. If I mentioned his name, he'd know. You understand? He'd know. So it's like I had to just, look, you wanted to be a tough guy. Now look what situation you're in, you fucking wet wipe. You helmet. You know, now look. And here, no pity party here. You put yourself here. So you better get yourself out. So I made a deal with God, right? I said, God, whatever walks through that cell, if you give me the chance to defend myself, or I'll be honest with you, Ron, I was puking me guts up, bro. I was that fucking, you know, because I was, bro, listen, when cunts are shouting down at you, and it's coming from all directions saying what they're gonna do with you, and bro, how are you supposed to identify a target if you don't know fucking everyone looking at you? Then, yeah, what you fucking looking at? You know, that kind of way, like, and they tested the waters with me and frightened the bollocks out of me. So the only thing I could do was to defend myself, and I did. The first time, here, 1-0 to me. See the other 2 times? They caught me lovely. I was in the shower and I seen 3 of them. 2 of them had basins in the hand. I was naked. I was getting fucking burned here, yeah. But instead, my man went like that to throw it at me face, and then Lord and fucked it at me. You know, I had me head bashed in the urinal. I was at the one. I was stabbed about 10 times. I'm not joking you. Not with a blade, with a fucking. It was like a rusty nail or something, and the other cunt had a screwdriver, right? And he fucking wet me up. You understand? It's like, and there was nothing I could really do, you know, except for go to fucking the medical unit for a night. You know what I mean? I had a couple of stitches and all, and I said, right, can I go back to me cell? And the screws like, yeah, you know, you can stay here for another 2 days if you want, Jude. You know what I mean? There was a screw that was all right to me, that could see what was going on. Listen, it wasn't just me. Loads of people get targeted in prison, and it's like it's a scary place for me. And listen to me, on my children's lives, it's like at the time I had one son, and I put myself in here. So I said to God, listen, I know it's a sin to kill, but if somebody comes in the cell and willing to die, I'll kill them. As long as I can see me son again, you know, and I stuck to that, and I ended up getting out. Don't get me wrong, I had a few marks and what have you, but fuck it. You know, I got out in me 2 eyes. Right, guys, I'm going to end this live. Yeah, done me 45 minutes, so you can fuck off, and I'll see you all later. Thanks for coming in. Ron, go get your bleeding haircut tomorrow. Well, bro, I'll be honest with you. It was my first major experience. I'll finish the story later on, bro, but I'm not lying. I've never been that afraid, because I could hear them, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute, I'm only in the bastard fucking cell like 3 days. But the thing was, Ron, I used to work in a bastard nightclub, yeah, called the Asylum, and 6 years later, bro, when I ended up in jail in the city centre, these fuckers that myself and me mates had fell out with, their family got involved, guns were brought in, pointed at not just me. Guns were pointed at Rusty Grendon that night too, mate, and it didn't end well. You know, allegedly. It's like they pointed them at us all. It's like, you know, and I was that fucked up, like, you know, I was stupid, you know, thinking me mates, like, oh, me mates, but, you know, it's a very reckless thing to do, because I was only a kid in a man's world, and it's like, I realised that, and then at 18, I ended up going to England. I'd forgot all about that life. I left me old ends, you know, and then I ended up going to prison in the city centre, being Mountjoy prison, and these guys, mate, hey, they always told me they'd get me back for it, and they did. 6 years later, do you understand? Yeah. But I've never been that afraid, you know, so I said to God, I said, look, if you get me out of here even with one of my eyes, because I was fucking terrified, like, I'm not going to lie, you know, you can't fight the whole prison, you know, it's like, and you get people going, oh yeah, prison's like a holiday camp, yeah, you're fucking lying, cunt, you know, it's one of them, you know, I was like, here, I can't be here. It's like, because the longer I'm here, all it's going to take is for one stupid mistake on me not to be switched on. And I was told never to walk into the cell with me back to the cell, walk into the cell backwards. That's what I had to do and all, and keep me eye at the door, you know, because these fuckers are creative. And the first time one of them basically, long story short, he got tuned in on me kids' lives, you know, the aerials, not the aerial, you know, the handle, I snapped, I was hitting him with it, and I snapped off, and I fucking stuck it in his eye. Like, how fucking insulting is this, yeah? They go and kill me mate when I was 14, and 7 years later, way before I walked in the bleeding asylum, when Keith Collins got stabbed, when I was 14 years old, in the fucking apartment lanes, fast forward 7 years ago, fast forward 7 years later, I'm in the prison where me mate's killer is, and the fella that was with him that night, and one of them come in my fucking cell, mate, to hurt me, so I fucking stabbed him in the eye, and now he's a fucking glass eye from Sheriff Street, no names, yeah. I did that. That was my work. Hey, they should have sent in the 2 Ronnies, mate. The 3 Stewdies would have done better. Tough guy, you bad man. You weren't that bad when you were getting fucking dragged out of your cell. Well, out of my cell. I was getting dragged out as well. They broke me fingers, they busted me head, smashed me face in. You know, but fuck it, they got some back as well. You know what I mean? But like I said, it's the fucking scariest place I've ever been in, Mountjoy Prison. Like, and when you have people screaming down saying, "See you, you're fucking dead tomorrow," you know, my nerves, I'm not joking you, like every fucking day, mate. You know, me dinner, it was coming back up because I was so fucking nervous and on edge. But I'll tell you how it ended. But you're gonna have to wait till... Hang on. Yeah, I'll be back on about 6 later on and I'll finish this story. Myself and me missus are gonna watch something. It's like, you know what, right? The other night I watched something called The House of Dynamite, yeah? Off my meds for a week, Lisa, so not feeling great. Got a phone call with doctor. Well, Finn, answer that fucking phone, right? Do you hear me? And I'll have a chat with you later on, right? I fucking told you the other day, you bollocks. If you can do a StreamYard, I'll jump on it. No problem, but I went out to get a haircut today, so I look a bit handsome. Finn, do you reckon I'm handsome? But, nah, like I said, I'll be honest with you, like, I've never been that afraid in my life, you know, as a young lad in a man's world. Like, I was like that. See that picture, yeah? A few months after that, I went to prison. And it's like this was taken off me and ripped and told, you won't be needing that where you're going. And this is the truth. In 1993, if you are from Ballyfermot and you're in Mountjoy, you're fucked. Because of the whole asylum thing, anybody from Ballyfermot was a target. Except for this target, I was the cunt that they wanted to get for years, and now 7 years later, they got me where they wanted me, in the jail. They had the screws there, allegedly, on the bill. Do you understand? Do you know how they got me the second time? Right, real quick, yeah? 9:30, I hear me door opening. 2 screws at me door. The governor wants to see you. Now, listen, I ain't gone nowhere with you. The governor went home at 6 o'clock. Listen, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Then I seen another 4 screws walking towards me, coming 2 that way and 2 that way, so I hadn't got a fucking choice, yeah? You know, them bastards marched me over to A Wing and left me in the yard and said someone will be out to see it in a few minutes. 3 people come out, mate, and battered me. You know what I mean? I got dragged back over to the wing, fucked in my cell. You know what I mean? Cameras probably turned off or immobilised for a few minutes. But I'll tell you later on what happened. I'm out. I'll see you later. Finn, I'll speak to you later on, right, guys? We out.